basically saying that the kids are not safe around Iman. She said Iman be smoking weed around the kids and be forgetting to feed them. One of the wildest parts of the allegations is Teyana says that Iman put the kids in a rideshare in Chicago and had them dropped off at the United Center Arena alone while he had a private driver drive.
No one expected the courtroom to fall into complete silence until Teyana Taylor and Iman Shumpert's daughter took the stand. In a shocking twist, the young girl testified in her parents' custody battle, leaving not only the judge but the entire room in disbelief. Iman, who has been pushing hard for full custody, reportedly went pale as his daughter spoke. What came out of her mouth had everyone questioning who was really telling the truth in this messy fight. Some witnesses even claimed they heard gasps from the gallery. It was one of those rare moments that flipped the entire energy of a courtroom. Raw, unscripted, and painfully emotional. Those present said it felt like time itself had stopped. No matter what side people were on, no one could deny that this little girl stole the spotlight with nothing but her truth. According to multiple eyewitnesses, the tension skyrocketed when the judge called their daughter to the stand. Everyone, including Iman, was visibly tense. Teyana reportedly sat up straighter in her seat, while Iman looked like he was holding his breath. The girl walked in with confidence, but with a quiet seriousness beyond her years. Court officers stood at attention, understanding the weight of the moment. Attorneys leaned forward, straining to catch every word. And then she spoke, not as part of a media stunt or legal strategy, but as a child desperate to be heard. Insiders claimed she didn't hesitate. Her voice was steady when she said, "Mom takes care of me. She makes sure I'm okay even when she's sad." The entire courtroom reportedly went even quieter after that. These weren't scripted lines. They felt lived, honest, and heartbreaking. Teyana's supporters nodded silently, while Iman's lawyers exchanged nervous glances. That single statement cut straight through their argument that Teyana was too unstable to parent. And in that instant, it became clear this case was no longer just legal. It was deeply personal, and now very public. Witnesses said Iman was frozen, his eyes locked on his daughter, stunned into silence. A court reporter later wrote, "You could hear a pin drop. Iman looked like he'd seen a ghost." Others described him as pale and tight-lipped, as if he was struggling not to lose control. His attorney leaned in to whisper something, but he didn't respond. That lack of reaction only drew more attention to his inner turmoil. Because it's one thing to face your ex in court, it's another to face your child's truth. Teyana, on the other hand, tried to remain composed. But as her daughter shared personal moments, she wiped her face repeatedly, taking deep breaths. At one point, she placed her hand over her chest as if to steady herself. Her reaction wasn't performative. It was the reaction of a mother deeply moved by her child's courage. A few of her friends in the gallery were seen quietly wiping tears as well. To them, this wasn't just a hearing. It was Teyana's entire identity as a mother being put on trial. And her daughter's words felt like validation. Trying to limit the damage, Iman's attorneys quickly jumped in. When the girl began referencing arguments at home, his legal team immediately objected, claiming such topics were inappropriate for a child in a custody hearing. They argued it was harmful to put adult conflicts on her shoulders. But the judge wasn't convinced. In a calm but firm ruling, he allowed her testimony to continue, stating that her perspective was crucial to understanding her true living environment. Legal analysts later said this was a turning point. The judge had cracked open the polished public facade, letting the child's raw truth pour in. And pour in it did. The more she spoke, the more the courtroom leaned in. She didn't dramatize or embellish. She just spoke from the heart. And the picture she painted wasn't flattering to Iman. His lawyers' objections, while legally valid, only made it seem like they were trying to silence her. That perception stuck. One of the most powerful moments came when she added, almost casually, "Mom's friend is really nice to me. He makes me feel safe." She didn't say Aaron Pierre's name, but everyone in the room knew who she meant. That simple statement hit like a bomb. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Some turned to glance at Aaron, seated quietly in the back. Others shot looks at Iman, who reportedly shifted uncomfortably in his chair. The message was clear. Aaron wasn't just a temporary figure. To the child, he was a safe presence. And that mattered. Observers noted Aaron's demeanor throughout. He didn't testify. He didn't grandstand. He barely moved. But his quiet presence spoke volumes. His eyes stayed on Teyana almost the entire time, his posture calm, his energy grounded. A reporter later described him as focused, respectful, and supportive, without ever making it about himself. It was a stark contrast to the visible tension coming from Iman's side of the courtroom. When the hearing ended, Aaron slipped out a side exit, avoiding cameras and questions. That restraint only earned him more praise online, with fans calling him classy, mature, and exactly the type of support Teyana needs right now. As news of the daughter's testimony spread, social media erupted. Hashtags like #BraveQueen and #ProtectBlackGirls trended within hours. Videos of supporters outside the courthouse cheering made their way onto TikTok and X. Fans called the girl courageous, with one viral post reading, "She stood tall when most adults would have folded." Others praised Teyana for raising such a strong, articulate daughter. Public opinion was overwhelmingly in their favor. Not everyone agreed, though. Sources close to Iman's camp insisted the testimony sounded coached. His family claimed Teyana's team was pulling emotional strings, exploiting the child for sympathy. She didn't come up with those words on her own, one insider argued, criticizing the judge for even allowing it. But Teyana's circle pushed back, saying the girl asked to speak, and was supported by therapists before stepping into the courtroom. One friend wrote online, "If she didn't let her daughter speak, people would accuse her of hiding something. Damned if you do, damned if you don't." Then came the viral courtroom sketch. It showed Iman with his hands covering his face, slumped in his chair. The image spread across social media within hours. Memes followed almost instantly. "When your own daughter shuts down your whole case," one read. Another joked, "That's not just a legal loss. That's a personal L." Brutal, yes, but the sketch captured what words couldn't: raw emotional defeat. Despite the drama, the judge didn't issue an immediate ruling. He thanked the girl for her testimony, calling her articulate and composed under pressure. Legal experts say that acknowledgement alone could heavily influence the final decision. Though the case isn't over, Teyana's legal team reportedly walked out of court energized, believing the judge now truly understands the emotional environment their daughter is growing up in. Iman, on the other hand, isn't just fighting in court anymore. He's fighting in the court of public opinion. And right now, the tide isn't in his favor. So here's the question. Should children ever be asked to testify in family court? Was Iman genuinely shocked by his daughter's words? Or just furious that the narrative flipped against him? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe, because this battle is far from over. And the next chapter may be even more explosive.